Alrighty, daily recap for Monday, August 17th. Yeah, slightly bearish day, I'd say, in total. It looks like we're drawing to this daily fair value gap now. I assume for some sort of reaccumulation. The other possibility of kind of bearishness is that we want to tap the weekly gap here. That is not super unrealistic either. However, yesterday coming into the day, I was actually expecting higher prices. Reason for that being, we're not expecting, but kind of eyeing, I would say. Reason for that being we had this very nice 4-hour, breaker plus order block plus 2 fair value gaps plus new week opening gap. And I thought that would probably stop us from running into the daily gap and leaving the daily gap probably as a breakaway gap. And yeah, we tapped down into, discount of this range into this 4-hour gap. And it looked like we started rejecting higher. And that's also kind of the move I was mainly looking for in the day. And then later in the New York session, towards the tail end of the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle, we ended up getting this relatively big sell-off towards this low. And if we look at the hourly chart, we can see that the framework for the shorts were actually pretty nice. Now in hindsight, we have fat SMT with ES here at this high from Thursday, right? We have an hourly breaker order block and fair value gap lined up here. And initially, when the New York session starts, we had ran these lows here, which I was very much expecting. After London kind of started selling off, that we were going to go do that and tap the new week opening gap. Those were both two ideas that I had. And then what I was basically looking for was we tapped the new week opening gap and we rebalance into this hourly internal and potentially past this hourly internal towards a 4-hour external up here. I hadn't quite realized how nice this looks for shorts, to be honest. Very much so looking at price through that bullish lens. Now at this point, I think we're definitely going to take this internal on the daily, or not take, but tap this internal on the daily. And then as I mentioned, I think probably this low here, maybe, I don't know. Somewhere here there is the weekly FVG as well. So I feel like that's bound to happen. Potentially too, not bound, it's not bound to happen, that's the wrong wording, but it's able to happen, I guess. I'm just gonna quickly, as we go, get rid of some of these drawings. I'll keep these, why not? And then let's drop into the 15-minute gap. Today was a very frustrating day trade-wise. We can get into that in a second. But basically, I took 2 trades, one for each model, longing kind of in this area here towards that hourly internal and, potential higher prices. And then there were 2 more setups, again, one for each model, slightly later in the day that didn't fill me, which would have been very nice trades, which was the frustrating part about the day, that I missed essentially easy wins on both models because there was no fill. So, that was a bit annoying. But we can quickly just jump in, honestly, into the good stuff here, which in this case is the 1-minute chart. I don't know about how good this stuff really is. I'm just going to pull the new week opening gap back down into here so we kind of stay on track with that. Now I'm going to start with the macro model ideas. Overall, we open 9:30 and yeah, man, nice price action right there. We just consolidate. And then eventually at the tail end of the macro here, a so-called buzzer beater, as I have coined it, when the last minute candle of the macro gets the change in state. 1010, we get this close above this breaker and this OB here, after we had reran the lows of the consolidation. So basically a potential AMD kind of framework with this consolidation, in my opinion. And again, we had all those high time frame PD arrays that I was kind of looking at through a bullish lens, right on the 4 hour new week opening gap. There's also hourly gaps down here and stuff. So overall, you know, I thought definitely a well-supported trade idea. And I'm pretty sure we had SMT with YM here. Yeah, we had SMT with YM. In the way of YM did not basically run this low. So like the SMT was right here, which, you know, looks pretty promising as your SMT with all the other things in mind. But yeah, doesn't quite play out. Now I think, let me see. Nope. Okay, where the hell are the drawings for this? Okay, they don't actually exist in there. That's fine. Anyway, that was the trade I took. And yeah, as you can see, big stop out. I already knew I was cooked when I went on TikTok. Like I you know, set my alerts, got off the charts, went on TikTok, and I was scrolling, and like 3 live traders came up, and everyone was longing this portion of price action, like up here, kind of chasing longs essentially. At that point in my head, I already knew, bro, if everyone's taking it, it's probably cook. So yeah, but you know, stuck to the rules and just accepted my fate, so to speak. On that. Yes, also, is it a little annoying that we just, you know, 1 wick stop out and then price is set free to finally give higher prices? Yeah, that's a bit annoying. That's definitely a bit annoying, but what are you gonna do, right? That's just how life goes sometimes. Well, trading at least goes sometimes. So yeah, from there, we kind of trade higher. We had some bearish SMT here and this 1 minute breaker in the 1050 macro, like at the start of the macro, which I think I made the very right call to ignore, because I thought the hourly internal was a obvious drawn liquidity at this point. And then, okay. Yes. This setup here instead. So basically the, you know, failure of this bearish breaker, which is a bullish breaker, and we had consecutive candle with ES at the previous candle low. And then 1057, we get this very nice displacement that ends up closing above this breaker. And yeah, man, I had my limit. I was ready to go. I think very astute of me to kind of like very well executed macro in the sense, even though I didn't end up actually taking any trades, but like, you know, fading the shorts and then being ready for the longs. I have my limit set here. And yeah, another one of these where at the moment, I would say we're tending to have a lot of non-fill setups, right? Like a lot of the trades that are delivering with the model end up not filling the breaker at the moment, which, you know, obviously is going to screw with my, you know, results, because we're basically missing out on a bunch of wins. But yeah, I mean, we miss out on that win, right? Simply said. And we move on. And then comes the next macro, 1150. Here you could have actually caught a winning trade that I didn't really have much interest in at the time. But also I don't think there was any SMT now that I think about it. Let me think. 11:45 to 12. Okay, there actually was. Okay, well, yeah. So at the time, I was not framing shorts really, because like we were yet to, like, again, I was pretty bullish on the day, and then after this retracement here, I thought this looks like it's ready to be ran. Like coming into the 1150 macro, I was kind of eyeing longs. What we end up getting is this bearish breaker right here off that consecutive, again with ES. That obviously now in hindsight, you can see here, delivers nicely. Reasons why I wasn't really in line with shorts yet. I mean, if we look at the chart, as I mentioned, I think I was a little slow on realizing what this hourly chart really looked like, and the idea of the external to internal kind of frame of the daily high time frame. But other than that, I think at the time being, I was like, we were in this 50-minute gap here, and we had not yet inversed it, right? So this came after the initial trading lower at 12, so only by 12:15 is this, confirmed. Now you could argue, okay, 12:15 confirms it, and then we retap the breaker maybe, but maybe I don't think quite. No, we don't quite. It's like, but again, that's kind of outside the model. But what I'm basically saying is, I think had we inversed this 50-minute gap prior to that setup, I would have looked for the shorts. It's a little unfortunate now seeing that in hindsight that there definitely was the opportunity to get some shorts off this hourly internal external continuation, and I kind of not slept on it, but yeah, I didn't see the validity. Also, if we look at the 5-minute, the SMR is basically just consolidation, and then we go lower. It just wasn't very convincing to me, So, yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Sometimes that's just how it ends up going, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little stumped now. No, I'm kidding. That's a little unfortunate. And then 1250 macro, there was just no SMT. That I do remember very clearly, because at that point we had inverse to 50-minute, and I was like, okay, definitely looking for some shorts, but there was no SMT anywhere. We just kept putting in lower lows on all the indices, 50-minute candle wise, so, or lower highs, I mean, on all of them. So yeah, that was that. And then we can go back to framing for the intuition model. Because here again, right, this initial point of interest for longs was very much what I was eyeing. And we actually had a trade prior to this 950. Now you could argue, okay, but weren't we consolidating there? Yeah, we kind of were. Now, reason for this trade was that well, okay, let me just quickly, no, I actually don't want to do that because I'm already in replay mode for the overnight cutout, and then it gets all wacky. But anyway, just imagine this part of price action isn't there. To me right here, we tap the new week opening gap at the 930 Judas, which is like a choppy Judas. Then we run higher, run lower, ES takes this out, and we get this close above. And same time we get this close above here, 949, if we quickly slide back to ES, we have this picture perfect looking breaker and order block stack that we close off the SMT, right? We have this breaker right here with the SMT on this short-term low thing here. So as you can probably tell,
order filled.
No. Why are you telling me order filled? What's up with that? We don't know. I mean, I'm in a short right now in London. Forward testing, so to speak, the 3 a.m. power of 3 kind of frame setup, which I think, like, I've just kind of been, since I have no university at the moment between semesters, I have some time in the mornings, and like the London framing has been very, very clear in my opinion. Like, I remembered from the backtest, I think initially I backtested like macro models for London session. And I remember that always at 3 a.m., like after the 3 a.m. open, we would almost always get a like very clear Judas, and like trades that I would take in the 250 to 310 London macro, if they were pre 3 a.m., I'd almost always get stopped out off that Judas. And with that in mind, I've kind of been looking at 3Ms, but we can just quickly actually go over that trade now at the end of the video. Anyway, back to this. We have this very nice kind of 1 minute long framework on ES at the same time as we had this. And like this was prior to really the chop. Like obviously it's in the chop, but I think you could argue if we just would have like off this 951 candle conted higher kind of towards all these like very nice looking liquidity pools here, you could argue that this wasn't very much chop. Like, I don't know, we reject this 1 minute rejection block super clean after tapping the new week opening gap, consecutive candle with ES, and then I actually took a mitigation block because that's how much I like the setup that I ended up taking a mitigation block. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm just kind of eyeing on my iPad here, trying to take profit. So, bear with me. I could just actually move my TP a little. How did I just... I'm in way more cons than I should be right now. Bro, the order filled was me accidentally longing. Not longing, but accidentally adding to the position. I guess I misclicked on my iPad. Yo, that's so annoying. Oh my god, this video just went off the rails. Right now we're getting a fat retrace against me. Oh my god.
Order filled.
That is so unlucky. I'm not even gonna lie. Yo! Oh my god, I just misclicked added to the position. Now I got stopped out in profit, but like realized P&L of 380, and I was just floating 1200 a second ago. Because I accidentally added 10 and I only noticed after we started retracing. Oh my god. That's so annoying. And now, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna go over that. That's just unlucky. I don't even know, because I swear I did not tap sell 10. Like, I don't know how the fuck that would have happened. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably just gonna cut that out, to be fair. So, back to the setup. As I mentioned, we ran this low to tap the NWOG, new week opening gap, consecutive candle with ES, reject this 1 minute rejection block, close above the mitigation block, long it, looking for a quick run to the internal and then potential for higher prices from there, right? Overall, kind of still with the idea of we're going to run all this. And yeah, just doesn't happen, right? Basically, we consolidate a bit over the entry, and then at 10 a.m. when we open, we just say, nope, not happening, and see you later, alligator. There goes that. Yeah, so that was the loss I took, and then coming off of that, we had this very nice looking long later in the day. Now, bear with me here, but I think these should be the appropriate drawings. Why are they not the appropriate? Oh, they're not. Those are the one. Okay. All right. Well, then I don't even know. I guess I don't have them actually in that area there. So basically, this is the 10 a.m. open, right? This line here. We got that 1 minute long setup for the macro model, which wasn't filling. We retrace this 50-minute gap right here. And the important thing here is that we pre this retrace on the 1 minute into that FVG. 10 a.m. opening price is also this 15-minute order block, right? That we close above pre that 1 minute retrace, right? So like this is a 15-minute breaker and order block as well. This 10 a.m. price that I've marked out here. We retrace into it, give it a quick tap, and then displace above this propulsion block, and then that was basically what I was looking for to take, targeting a fixed 3R. But yeah, as you can see, same thing here as the macro model long, just no fill. So yeah, quite annoying day, as I mentioned. Kind of looking for longs initially, 2 losing setups and then 2 winning setups that just don't fill me. So at the end of the day, not much comes from them, which yeah, is definitely unfortunate. I'm also, yeah, a little frustrated now that I missed the short. And the London trade I was talking about, we can now quickly slide over to live data. Because again, I'm kind of forward testing like a 3 a.m. kind of model. Basically, overnight, we now had a big sell-off already in Asia. And we have this daily, not swing low, but daily low here that looked pretty nice. And then going into London, we've kind of been retracing off of it. So I was eyeing 3 a.m. for a potential like reversal, right? And we tapped this 50-minute gap, which I was eyeing like pre, 3 o'clock. We open here, kind of consolidate off it, and then for me, this is the manipulation, like this leg higher, which also goes about 3 a.m. here, makes this breaker. I actually shorted slightly before that, anticipating it now. Like I took a short here, and then just had my target at 3R, right? But not 3R from here, because I think this is like the OG setup I'm kind of looking for. And as you can see, we just barely did not tap 3R and went higher. Now what I did, which I don't even know how the fuck this happened. I mean, I think you heard it in the video, which this video has also been going on for like probably a long time, but I think you heard it in the video, which makes this even crazier, because I swear to God, I did not press. Like I did not add into the position, but it added into the position. And then by the time I noticed it, we had that big 1 minute retrace happening, right? Like this big 1 minute candle here was happening right as I noticed that I actually added into the position. which I swear I did not press sell 10. Like, I'm so dead ass. So here's the initial 10. And then for some reason, there's another 10 down here. Like, I did not press anything. That was when the order filled sound came up. I thought it was just like, I don't know, some other, like maybe my, like Top Step sometimes gives the sound cues for like orders like way later. But yeah, nothing happens there. Like, you know, I didn't see it. And then eventually I saw that like, okay, now my entry is all of a sudden here. And my stop loss is saying minus 1,000 up here where it was break even. And now this is about to hit like where my TP was. And I trailed my stop into profit a bit when I saw this big 1 minute candle against me, because at this point, you know, if we retrace to what break even was, it's a loss. So I didn't want to do that. And, you know, by the time I noticed we were already kind of up here, and it was like, what do I do now? Split moment decision, I trailed my stop. Unfortunate, I guess, but yeah, like, I don't think we should make this accidental sell 10 be worth more than it is. Like, for the journal, this is a very nice trade, right? Like, if we look at this again here on this chart, where I now deleted everything apparently. Can I still get it back? Oh, I can. Cool. Where I now deleted everything. This is such a clean trade. Like, really nice. That's just a bummer. I should have been up now like in a second when this does run the 3R here. I should have been up about 1,200. That's what my limit was saying. So yeah, cool beans, man. All right, that's that. I guess a little bonus here, but I'm gonna be continuing kind of with the forward test of this London model, because it's been cooking. Like, just 3 a.m., right? You know, you just execute potentially sometime after 3 a.m. and then that's the whole thing, nothing more than that. Looking to capitalize on a 3 a.m. power of 3, which if we look at the hourly chart so far is a very clear bearish PO3. Obviously, you'll be able to tell by the fact of how, you know, the chart looks on a 1 minute as well. Now we actually have a 1 minute SMT on these lows, and this is just going to be fucking annoying as shit. I probably would trail my stop to here now if I still were in the position, which would be like 31 point. I'd be up 600 if I got trailed out, so about double what I'm up now. I still do not know how the fuck I just sold 10 more down here. Like, I literally did not press sell 10. I didn't touch my iPad screen, and it just order filled. I guess I must have, but I didn't like realize it. So whatever. That's like a little, you know, off the rails recap there at the end, but